Hello everyone, this is Ahmed Saleh again. Happy weekend. Today I have a video about how we can utilize Dataverse, data flows, and existing Excel files, records, or Excel files, Excel sheets, data, to create a history log table in Dataverse. My use case is that I have this table here that has some of the employees columns, and it holds certain kind of informations. So I have the employee ID, I have the full name of the employees, I have departments of the employees, supervisors of the employees, the pay codes of the employees, office numbers, and the PC tag number, or the asset number for the PCs. What I want to do is we are migrating these big huge Excel files, for example, to Dataverse. And while we do that, the end user is still going to work on these Excel files. I want to create a table, so in case that the user actually, while we doing the migration, building our applications, they are working on these data, they change something here, I would like to create a log to hold that change. So basically it will hold the old initial records as we can see them here, and any future changes to these records will actually also be saved as an addition records in the Dataverse table. If they delete anything from here, we would like also to keep that information in Dataverse. So we would like not to allow this deleted value from Excel to be deleted also from the Dataverse table. Let's start by going to my table here in Dataverse. So this is my table, employee history log Dataverse. I created this table, and it has some custom columns. So I will filter here to get the custom column. I'm filtering by my prefix, which is my solution prefix. I am in the solution that called demos. And these are my columns on the Dataverse table. I have the department. It's identical to what I have in the Excel file. So I have department, I have the employee ID, and I have employee name, employee log Dataverse. This is basically the the GUID record. Then I have the office number, pay code, PC number, and supervisor. The only extra column that I created is the log key, and this is what we're gonna use to basically be able to track these changes in Excel. And I will explain what value we're gonna save here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we'll actually come to the the Power Platform, and we are in the same environment here, and where I have that Dataverse table, and I will go ahead and start by creating a new data flow. I will call this data flow, let's call it employee HR history log data flow, and then I will create, I will click create. Remember that my Excel file is actually saved in a OneDrive folder. It's right here, so that's where the file actually, that's the folder, that's the location. And you can also save that file that can be actually saved in your local computer or in any other network folders. From here, I will select the data source is going to be Excel workbook, and I will, instead of upload the file, I'm going to link to a file and browse my OneDrive. So basically, the same account I'm using to log in into this environment, it's actually, it has to be or to belong to that OneDrive as well. So I'm going here, I will navigate to apps, Microsoft Power Query, uploaded files, and I will select this Excel file right here. And then I will click next. That's right here. And then I have this table. That's the table that we have. It's the same data. I just verify them. It's the same data I have here. I have there as well. And then I will click transform the data. And we will wait until everything load up for us in the Power Query editor. And here what I will do, so in my use case, users can actually change the full name, they can change the department, they can change the supervisor name, they can change the pay code. Basically, they can change everything except the employee ID. So what I want to do is I will actually duplicate all these columns, and then I will merge the copies of these columns into one column. So what that will do is when I actually merge all these, so let's say that next time the Excel file has been changed, so the department is changed from HR to finance in one of these records. Let's say HR change here to finance for Isaiah Langer, right? What's gonna happen when this Power Query run or the data flow run and the Power Query refresh, the combination of all these columns value will change, because now instead of HR, it's actually finance. That merged columns or copy of columns is my alternate key, and this is something that I might forgot to mention here, so that that this lock key column is actually the alternate key that I have for this table. Alternate key, that's mean cannot hold a duplicate values, and the alternate key basically, when every time the data flow run, it will basically cross check between the Excel file alternate key or the key that we will generate in the Power Query editor and the Dataverse table. If it's the same, then what happen is it will basically update all the columns, you know, with the same value that I have in the Excel. If it's different, and this is the case where the user actually changed one of the values in the columns, then that alternate key value basically is going to be different. And what's happened is the data flow will create a new record for us. And that's how we keep up with this history. So I have alternate key here. This alternate key, I called it lock key, and it's actually assigned to the lock key column that I created. Going back to the, the Power Query. So as I said, I will just go ahead and duplicate the columns. So we'll have to do one by one. There is no way that you can do here like all of them at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and start duplicating these. This is the duplicate of department. Duplicate the column of supervisor, pay code, office number, and the PC tag number. Now what I will do next in my next step is actually I will select all these columns that I just duplicated. So I will select all of them and then right click and I will go merge columns. In the separator, you don't have to add a separator really, but if you want to, that's completely fine. I will just go ahead and add a custom one. I will make it $sign just to make it, look different, and I can tell this is, my merge column, and then I will actually merge these columns. So now I will have one column. This column, it will have a long value, basically, as I said, this is a long value. My lock column on the Dataverse, that column that I have here, the maximum, because it's a text type column, you can actually have up to 4,000 character. So I'm just using the default here because in this example, it's not going to be more than 100. So I have this now. So basically this is the new column. I will just change this column name and I will call it lock key. And that's it. That's everything I need to do here. So basically I merge all my columns here and now I have this lock key. This is going to be the primary key basically on the Excel file, and it's going to be the alternate key on my Dataverse table. And then you go ahead and click next. And then here is going to be obviously loading into existing table. I will go ahead and select my table that I created. It's the demo employee log Dataverse. And the first thing first is actually to select your alternate key. So the lock key, remember that we created the alternate key on Dataverse table. And then I will just go ahead and map, these employee ID. Let's hit auto map. It does not, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work for me. So full name, lock key is going to be the lock key here, office number. And what I'm doing here is basically mapping between the source and the destination tables. and then the PC tag number and the supervisor. This option will leave it unselected. The reason for this is if you check this box here and you selected this option, you enable this option. So every time if they deleted any record from the Excel file, it will be also deleted from the Dataverse. So if your use case required that, that's fine. In this use case, we do not want to delete anything. We would like to keep all the record. Then I will click next. And then for this, for now, we're gonna just refresh manually just to showcase. But again, obviously you can refresh automatically. You can refresh every 1 hour, for example, and you set up when you do that. There is another thing that you can do here. In some cases, you wanna basically, only run this data flow when something changed. With the Excel file, there is no trigger in Power Automate that actually, if something changed on the Excel file, will trigger the Power Automate flow. But if your data source is SQL Server, if your data source is SharePoint, or if your data source is actually Dataverse in another environment, for example, you can actually use this approach, which is basically a Power Automate flow that will trigger when the change in the source happen to run the data flow. Here we're gonna do refresh manually and then publish now, and then we're gonna wait for this to run and publish and see what's gonna happen right here. All right, it's actually this one here that we're waiting for. As you can see, your data flow is actually already being published, and it will actually start the refresh here. So we have an error here. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, please try again. So this is, sometimes this happens. It could be a connection issue. So what you need to do is basically go ahead and click refresh again, hit refresh again. If it's not telling you exactly what is the problem, so sometimes this could be an issue. Okay, there was a problem refreshing the data flow. Try again later. So let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit edit, and I'm gonna go ahead and check this to confirm that everything we have, it's working just fine. Okay, so we have Excel to log. We have this table. Yeah, for some reason, I think the publish is not working correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. So look like, yes, this is exactly what happened here for some reason. So I don't know why. But yeah, let's try something different. So this is the table that we have here. Okay, so everything is already there. Let's click next again. Okay, so I have two things. Yeah, so this is what I have, and this is the query. So I don't know what is this. So let's go back. You want to go ahead and delete this just to make sure that I don't have any issues here. So I don't know what this is exactly. And then now let's click on this and see if I have the right set. Yeah, I have it here. Let's go click next. Okay, so everything is done here, and then let's just do publish again, and let's see if this will actually work this time and will not cause an error. Maybe it's actually because it's open. Let's close it. Yeah, this is something could happen actually. All right, it's actually refreshing now. So sometimes, if you have the Excel file open, that will cause some issues. So make sure that your Excel file is always closed when the data flow is running. So as you can see here, it's like, still running. So we are on the right track here. Let's, hope it's not going to fail again. And, but yeah, I'm glad that happened. So I think it happened because the Excel file was open. When you are running a data flow, specifically Excel, at least in my experience, if the Excel file is open, it will refresh. It will actually, the data flow refresh will fail. So always make sure that this Excel file is closed. So we're gonna wait here until that refresh complete, and once in complete, so we're gonna obviously find the data actually come over here. As you can see, yeah, the data already now came here, so probably it's already done. Okay, perfect. So it's done, it succeeded. So now we have all the data we have here. Now what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna go and open this Excel file, and let's pretend that there is a change happen. Let's say that, so for Isaiah Langer, I'm gonna change HR, and I'm gonna make this accounting, for example. Let's say that we have a new department, and accounting here. This is saved automatically. I'm gonna go ahead, not do mistake again, and then I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna come to the data flow again, and then run a refresh. Remember, what we have here for ISA is basically, let's sort here by names, and just to find them here, right here. See, he was in the HR, and then supervisor name or a hallway, and this is basically the log key for them. So it's log key equal all the information HR. But now with the change that we did, the log key is gonna be accounting $, right? So this is gonna change to accounting. What that will make is we'll just generate a new record here. So just wait for it, just check to see it's still in progress. We can come here and just hit refresh until we can see if it's actually come. All right, right here we have it. So what we have here now, we have the ISA Langer, actually HR, and now it's accounting. You can see that it has changed. That's why it created actually a new record. Do you see this? So now we have a log of this. Again, remember, if there is anything deleted, that's not going to change anything. So there's no problem is going to be there whatsoever, right? So right here now we have double another record. Let's try another value. Let's try another thing to change out, like maybe change multiple things in one record. So let's say that for Diego right here, so Diego, I will give him, like, let's say he has a new supervisor. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take William, and I will make him the supervisor for Diego. The office number, yeah, I'm gonna put him in office number 11 this time. So he was in office number 56. PC number, I'm gonna give him, like, a new PC number 1 2 3 5 4 6. Let's give him this PC number. I'm gonna go ahead and close this again. Remember, we're gonna come here. I like to select Diego. Let's find Diego right here. That's what we have. He was in supplies, office number 55, and he has actually a new supervisor name, which is William at this time, right? I think that's the Diego that we have. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let's go refresh this data flow again and see what's happened. So in this case, obviously, what's gonna happen is that we will have a new record for Diego. Yeah, now it's actually working. So the refresh is working. We'll come here, let's do a refresh. Maybe we'll get it immediately. Yep, not yet. So yeah, don't get so excited. All right, so we'll wait for it. It's still in progress. We'll come here and check to see if we have the new record created still. So, wait for it until it's finished here. So that's exactly what you do. And again, as I said, if you have SharePoint, if you have Dataverse tables, and you want to do the same scenario, you can actually do a Power Automate flow that trigger only when the change happen on the data source. So you don't have to really set up this automatically to run, like, every hour or every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes, all these kind of things. So I'll come here, refresh again. We should have Diego with 2 records. That's exactly what we have. So we have his previous office number was 11, now it's 55. Okay, sorry, it was 55, now it's 11, and he has Hanifa Hubbard as a supervisor, now he has William, right? So we keep track. If there is anything deleted from the data source, it will not be deleted from here. Remember why? Because we did not select that option. And if you want to test this, let's actually go ahead and test it. And I'm gonna go, for example, let's say that I'm gonna go and delete my name. So let's just delete my record from here, right? And delete this record. I'm gonna delete, let's delete all these 3. So I'm gonna delete Joanna, Miriam, and Lynn. Okay, I'm gonna delete all these. Okay, so now we delete it from here. It was deleted from here. Is it going to be deleted from the Dataverse table? No, it's not. Okay, so let's say, what if someone was just, thick finger, and then they just copied this basically and paste it right here. So what happened is we have actually a duplicate record, right? So we have a duplicate record. So basically what is this is actually now, okay, so this probably will have the same, lock key in the Power Query editor. So what's gonna happen at that time, right? So what's gonna happen is that will not create a duplicate, all right? Because the alternate key cannot be duplicate, has to be unique. So it will not create a duplicate if you have a duplicate alternate key. That will not create a new record. It will just ignore your thing. So I'm gonna go ahead here and let's go and run this one more time, and this is gonna be the last time, I promise. I just wanna, show you some different kind of scenarios that sometimes you might have questions about. Okay, so if, what if they deleted something, is going to be deleted? What if actually they just created another record with the same values exactly? Is this gonna create a duplicate record, in my Dataverse? No, it's not. So we'll wait for it here actually to refresh, and we'll see how that works. Remember, we deleted my name, we deleted, I remember, Joanna and Len, right? So yes, so we deleted this, we deleted Joanna, we deleted myself, and there is one record that we added. So let's add one thing here. I want to add created on, so I want to just show you something here. Okay, so let's go here. Yes, created on. Everything was created initially. This is the original creations. Everything was created at 12:35, except, as you can see, there's some that, this is here 12:35 p.m. and we're probably gonna have something at 12:32 p.m. And remember, those are the one that we updated. So these are the new records, right? So these are the one that changed. That's why you have them in different. But now the one that we duplicate, it should not be there. So now let's go to the data flow. It's run, it's successful. You don't get any error, nothing. It's already done. But what's happened is I still have Ahmed, I still have my, Joanna, I still have Len. So it did not delete them from here. Also, the record that we created, we actually duplicated. Let's open the Excel sheet file here and find that person. So it was actually David Lead. That's the record that we created. So what happened in the database, in the Dataverse for David Lead? Nothing. So you still have David created. So that's the first creation. So that's mean if you duplicated exactly the same record, that's mean you have a duplicate record. It's not gonna be imported. Dataflow will ignore it, and you will just have the old one, the first one that created right here. That's the one that we have. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this is useful. Again, it's a nice way to do this. I will probably make a video how to do this in SQL. So, there is a way to do this in SQL without, doing, obviously you can do the same thing by merging the columns, but there is another thing that you can do actually in SQL to really track these changes on Dataverse tables. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this and you found it useful. See you next time.